Welcome back, guys. Today I'm gonna be showing you the part 2 for the worst and best matchups for each brawler. We're continuing with Jin. The best matchups are brawlers that doesn't have that damage or that range that you can control with him. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can have constant pets or stuff that can avoid running at them, such as Tara or Mr. P. Next, with Max, the worst matchup are brawlers that doesn't get affected by the speed of her, such as a Crow with or slowing brawlers. And the best matchups for Max are brawlers that you can charge the super, such as tanks that doesn't have that much mobility or damage, such as Frank and Hank. With Mr. P, brawlers that can run at him and destroy him, such as Boss, Primo, are the worst matchups, and the best matchups are brawlers that have um, like long range but not as long as him and that are really squishy. The best matchup for Sprout are brawlers that have low DPS and slow mobility, and the worst matchups are brawlers that have really high DPS and mobility. The best matchups against Byron are brawlers that have range but that doesn't have that much DPS. The worst matchups are brawlers that are really aggressive and that can destroy him really fast. Next, with Squeak, the worst matchups against him are brawlers again that can destroy by running at him, and tanks such as Mortis or Boss or Primo, something like that you can run at him. And the best matchup, sorry, are brawlers that you can control and destroy by picking and getting them really low or really low HP, such as throwers or squishy brawlers. Next, with Gray, the best matchups against for um, Gray are mainly those um, throwers that you can put with the walking cane gadget and squishy brawlers in general. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can damage DPS that have really high DPS. With Willow, like most throwers, the best counters against her are brawlers that can run at her with really fast mobility and really high DPS. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can get destroyed by their slow or their low mobility and their low DPS. The best matchups for Dog are brawlers that have really low DPS and uh, really low HP. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can destroy by having really high DPS and damage in general. The best matchups for Spike are brawlers that are tanks mainly that cannot destroy him by running at him, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can destroy with range, such as Piper or Brock. Next, with Crow, the best matchups are brawlers that with the slowing toxin gadget, which is one of the best that you can control with him, such as tanks mainly, or brawlers that depend on their speed, such as Max. And the worst matchups against Crow are brawlers that can get destroyed by his that can run at him really fast or that have those higher DPS and higher range. With Leon, the best matchups for him are brawlers that have really high HP and really low DPS. And the worst matchups are brawlers that destroy him in really high range stuff. Next, with Sandy, okay, the best matchups are brawlers that you can destroy by picking and picking, charging the super, such as tanks that you can stun with a gadget. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can outrange him or outdamage him. Next, with Amber, the best matchups are brawlers that you can destroy really easy with their low DPS and low HP. And the worst are brawlers that can run at her, really aggressive tanks. With Mech, it depends, but mainly the best matchups are brawlers that have low. Well, it could be both, like tanks. If you have the super, like the tank up, you can destroy them really fast. But if they can abuse by running at you. Those are the best and worst matchups. For Chester, the best matchups I may say that are brawlers with low DPS and low HP. And the worst matchups are brawlers that outrange him or outdamage, like yes, Piper and Brock, etc. Now with the Chromatic Brawlers, Gale. The best matchups are tanks. Tanks you can destroy with both of these star powers. And the worst matchups are brawlers that outrange him. Uh, Surge, if you have level 2, is not that. You can almost counter any brawler, but if you have level 1, you need to be very careful with the high DPS and high range brawlers, and you can use him really good. With Colette, the best matchups are tanks, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can outrange her or outdamage by the range. Lu, the best matchups are against tanks, and the worst matchups are against throwers or brawlers that have longer range. The best matchups for roughs are brawlers that can get destroyed by the bags or by the bouncing the ammo, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can outrange him or outdamage by running at him, like tanks. Next, with Bell, the best matchups are tanks that doesn't have that ability to run at her, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can run at her and destroy by 1v1 close-up situations. The worst matchups for boss are tank wreckers such as Grave, Spike, Shelly, and the best matchups are Squish Brawlers and low DPS and damage and HP brawlers. The best matchups for Ashe are again low HP and low DPS brawlers, and the worst are against those high DPS that can destroy at range or at close or long range. Worst matchup for Lola, I would say Penny because of the splashing at her clone, and brawlers that can outrange such as throwers. And the best matchups for her are brawlers with tanks with lots of HP but really low DPS. Next, Fang again, Shelly, Ems, and Spike are brawlers that can destroy because of the high damage. And best matchup, for Fang are brawlers with low HP or really squishy. Next, if the best matchups are brawlers, squishy brawlers, or really short range brawlers because she can get really fast away from them. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can run at her and destroy, such as Boss or Fang, something like that. Janet. Best matchups are brawlers that have low DPS and low range, short range, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can outrange her or outdamage by running at her because she doesn't have that much stuff to run away from them. Next, Otis. The best matchups are tanks, and the worst matchups are higher range brawlers. Sam. Worst matchups: Spike, Shelly, brawlers that can outdamage him at close-up situations or at high range situations, and the best matchups are squishy brawlers. Buster, the same as Sam. And with Mandy, the best matchups are brawlers that can get destroyed by their outranged her, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can run at her and destroy, such as Boss and Fang, everything like that. The best matchups for RT are squishy brawlers and short range brawlers, and the worst matchups are higher DPS and higher range brawlers, or that can run at him because he doesn't have that much stuff to run away from them. Next, Macy, the best matchups are another tanks that can run at hers, or brawlers such as Carl or Primo, because with this star power and the ability, the super that can explode and destroy him. And the worst matchups are brawlers that can outrange or outdamage by like throwers or Piper, Brock, something like that. And finally, Cordelius. The best matchups are tanks or brawlers with low DPS and low HP, and the worst matchups are brawlers that can outdamage him, such as Shelly or Spike, everything like that. So yeah, those are all the brawlers, all the 70 brawlers. Well, I wanna say that finally with Pearl, I think that the worst matchups are brawlers that can outdamage by having a higher range against her, and the best matchups are brawlers that can get destroyed by their low HP and damage. So yeah, hopefully you like this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you later, guys. Bye.